You always rush to do something whenever I get to one, David. You always rush in to do
I
something.
just make sure
I,
it's done. Just checking. Making sure
all
we're
right, 3, 2, you.
All
You're
right, now I'm
embarrassing
ready.
me in front
Now I'm
of
ready.
our new friend.
I'm embarrassing
All
us in front of company. All right.
right, all right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, anime question of the week for both of y'all.
All right, let's go.
Who is your favorite side character in a series? And what one quality do they possess that you like most out of all other side characters?
Pause. Go. Zoro. Since you didn't say no big three. Zoro.
Fuck.
Why?
Say big three. Damn it.
Die,
Go back.
die hard loyalty. Zoro's is going to be number one. He would do anything for his captain. He would do anything for his crew. Zoro is that nigga.
Okay.
Did you see in the SBS that Zoro would, if Luffy ordered him to kill a crew member, he would do it without hesitation?
Hey, no dupes. No dupes. No dupes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta pick somebody else. No dupes.
Oh yeah, no. I was trying to think outside of Zoro, like outside of the big three.
Yeah,
I was
outside
like,
of the big three.
I would say Hunter x Hunter. I'll go with Killua.
Oh,
He's a side character.
yes.
Just because I feel like he's the main
Yes.
That's
character.
another one.
Okay.
He's kind of the same thing loyalty wise, but he's also badass. But he's also like, he looks innocent at first. I remember when I first watched it, I raw dogged it. I didn't know anything about Hunter x Hunter.
Really?
And then I think it was that one episode where they're like playing the game and he kills that murderer, some guy that killed like 100 people.
Oh, when they're underground. They're underground.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah,
fighting
when he
in levels.
snatches his heart out.
Yeah. That shit
I
was
was like,
hey.
bro.
I mean, he
Yeah.
die hard loyalty as well. He fucking went and got his sister just so he can save Gon's life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nanika and Anuka and Nanika. Yeah. Something like that. Well, I'm gonna go non-big three. I'm gonna go with Mikazuki from Iron Blood Orphans. Mikazuki. So
Is
from
he a
Gundam
side?
Iron Blood. Orga, yes. And so here's the thing. Orga is technically the leader of Tekkadan. He's the boss, right? So technically he's the main character. I get Mikazuki. They're like two main characters in the show.
Yeah.
But Mikazuki is the subordinate to Orga.
Factual.
And that just like Killua, just like kill them. Okay, what do you want me to do next?
All right.
They're dead. What do you want me to do next? They're dead.
Facts.
What do you want me to do next?
In
You
the
know?
show, he's like, okay, just tell me where I should
do you-
point the gun. Just let me know.
I'm out here. That's what I'm trying to do.
Fuck yeah.
I had to go with Mikazuki. He's probably one of my
Of course.
one of my top. Or I could go with Sasuke, but I'm just kidding.
Sasuke, how? Explain.
Sir,
Get
sir,
into it.
pause.
Let's hear it.
He he led Naruto down the path of. I'm sorry, I can't even lie about
Gate
that.
him? What did he do?
So what?
I read some lore about Naruto. I'm not a big fan of Naruto. I haven't even seen it, but I've seen that. I think Sasuke has like an older brother, right?
Itachi. Yeah.
Itachi, who is supposed to be like the villain of the story, and I guess he like killed his parents.
Okay.
This is from like someone who
Yo,
hasn't
dude.
watched.
Outside looking in, it makes sense.
Wow, I don't think I've ever met anybody who's never seen Naruto. Like
No,
that's.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, maybe I might watch it after.
Honestly, this is a great chance for you. Naruto, I wouldn't say it's like a top show, but it's worthy to be a show of someone's favorite because it has its moments.
It's a top show. It ended a long time ago.
It has a lot of great moments. Like it's definitely
No.
something to get into, even if you have to
Naruto
do
is
a filler
definitely-
list.
Yeah, no,
I might do a film list.
I do a filler list on damn One Piece. So I mean, what are we talking about?
He's
Like,
just trying to catch up, though. That's different.
Yeah.
I mean,
One that I didn't expect to actually enjoy was Bleach. I was just trying to watch it to watch it. And I'm starting to watch the filler, and I'm like, how's this filler? Like, this is good. This is like...
They have
Bleach-
full arcs.
Bleach's fillers are arcs.
Yeah, they do
They're
full filler arcs.
Total arcs.
The
Wait, wait.
bringers, I was like, bro, come on now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Otaku Octagon podcast. As you can tell, I don't know which side of the screen he'll be on for me. Is it there? That way? So we got our boy Andrew, aka Iconic Bits, here with us today. We'll get into a little bit about him in a minute, but Andrew, on our podcast, what we do is we start off with our anime question, which y'all will see, and then we get into some news. So I'm gonna drop some news on y'all real quick, and then we'll get into some of our questions. So Solo Leveling, when it comes out in January 2024, which we talked about in our last episode, it will be coming out with a 2-core series, and it's going to be 23 to 25 episodes long. So it'll be 2 separate cores, which I'm pretty excited about. I think that's
Which
a good.
deserves.
Yeah, I think it's a good blitz. Have you heard anything about Solo Leveling, Andrew?
I've seen like the artwork for it, but I haven't like. I know it has something to do with like a sword. I think that's about it. I think it's like a
Yes.
sword sort of.
Yes.
No.
That's exactly what it is. He
That's
levels up a sword. No. But it does look good. I mean, a lot of people have been waiting for Solo Leveling to come out for a very, very long time. Hopefully it's worth the hype and they don't fuck it up, but we'll see. Next, so Attack on Titan is going to have a worldwide after party online from November 5th to the 8th. So I don't know what's going on with this whole Aaron Yeager interview that they're still supposed to be doing. I don't know. I'd have to find it. If you didn't know, Andrew, we had some news in one of our last episodes where the Japan was going to interview Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan, and not the voice actor, which technically it would be the voice actor, but the actual character Aaron Yeager. They were going to interview him live on television.
What's that thing called? Like, is it VTubers that are basically like digital YouTubers they're like their whole presence is just being like an online figurehead?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think it's
yeah.
one of those.
I don't think it's one of the. I think it's like a legit. Maybe like it's gonna be, well, obviously animated, but like an animated guy sitting there and they do an interview. Like, so why do you think it's necessary to kill 8 bajillion people? I don't know. That's okay. But yeah, so it's gonna be November 5th to the 8th. It's worldwide after party online. I'm sure you can Google it whenever November 5th comes up, and you can sit at your desk and have an online after party.
Yeah.
Next,
Is this the final episode though? I know they like did like part 1, part 2, part 3. Is this
final.
it?
This is it. This is the final
They
final
say.
episode. They say,
They
but
say.
they are adding 8 more pages to the manga, so we don't know what that's about, but we'll see. That
Attack
might
on
be like a
Titan,
movie.
Final pages.
That might be like Section 2, Article 8, Final Part 5, all that nonsense. All right, so next, Shibuya, Japan, is going to ban their Halloween meetup this year. This is in speculation because of last year. There was like they call it kind of like, not like a chaotic, but like there's a chaotic stampede that ended up getting a lot of people hurt and some people killed. But they are also speculation that because of the hype around the Shibuya incident right now in Jujutsu Kaisen, that they're banning that meetup because of they expect that there's going to be a shit ton of people there because of the popularity of the Shibuya arc, the Shibuya incident arc right now in Jujutsu Kaisen. So they're banning their Halloween meetup. You know what happens when you ban public spaces? People show up anyway.
Yep.
So we'll see what fucking happens. But My Hero. So the last thing is My Hero Academia and Assassination Classroom is in the top 4 most wanted banned mangas in the United States. So some Congress members and chapter members are saying that Assassination Classroom and My Hero have too much violence and sexual nature for the United States. Yeah, they should watch other manga. Yeah.
Wait a minute, there's a lot more worse than that.
I'm surprised My
Yeah.
Hero's on there. You said they're top 4?
Yeah, they're in the top 4 of most
My
of the United States, like Congress people trying to ban, because they're always trying to ban manga, shows, books, but in manga top 4, My Hero and Assassination Classroom, because they say it's too sexual, it's too violent, so on and so forth, which is hilarious because My Hero is supposed to be that shonen kitty loving hero, anime, but
let me get into
maybe
one
Mount,
thing.
maybe Mount Lady, Mount Lady. with the-
Mount Lady, no, I hear you on that. But no, one hot topic in the My Hero, like manga world. So everybody know about that Invisible Girl, who's part of the classroom.
Yeah,
They
I
had
heard
a
about that
manga a cover apparently where she wasn't invisible and she was completely naked, and we basically come to the conclusion that
She's a teenager.
She's always been naked.
Yeah.
Because remember, the only way we see her is
the
with
gloves.
those gloves that she wears. So she's
Yep.
always naked. And then the manga illustrator decided to put her on the cover completely naked, like wrapped with like the warning tape, like the police tape.
Yeah,
That was it. So that's been like
And
a
she's
super hot topic.
Yeah, she's a child. I saw it on the forums, like the Reddit forums, where some dude was talking about how like, oh, there's a theory that this girl's naked all the time. I think that's hot, and people were going at him. Yeah, people were going
is a
at
child.
him.
And then
They're
they
like,
defend
that is
themselves. It's
child.
just a drawing. No,
It's
that's
a
a
child.
kid. That is a
It's
drawing
whole
of a
child.
kid. If I
Yeah.
drew your kid,
Yeah.
would you have a problem with it?
If they didn't have the technology to make her gloves invisible, unless she's just wearing them so that people know she's there. But if they didn't have that technology, then technically she would be naked. The whole
And
time.
that's crazy because they have technology for everybody else's quirk. They couldn't
Yeah.
make an outfit for her that turned invisible
Japan,
with her.
bro.
Like, bro, come
It's-
on now. They have technology for everything.
It's Japan, bro. I don't know. Anyway, so that wraps it up for our news. Now to get to our guest, Andrew, Iconic Bits. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good. So let the fanship, let the otaku army, the otakuans, let us know what do you do? What are you into?
So I make custom cards, but recently I am trying to stray away from there and start doing more podcasts and more informational TikToks and kind of stick around there. I also stream on Whatnot. But my informational videos that I do on TikTok that are like 1 minute snippets are like the top 5 most expensive Pokemon cards, and then kind of go over that. Lately, I've been enjoying doing One Piece content a lot more because that's what I am into. So I've been doing like the top 3 most expensive, and I have a few theories to go over. I know there's already a bunch of One Piece like theorists out there, and they do all their TikToks like Draco.
I think I heard him.
Yeah. He's on like the Fraud Watch, and he calls out every character. And
So you're a big or you're trying to be a big theorist.
Not even that, just have my content out there, and just kind of work on something I'm really like into all the time. Every time a new chapter drops, I'm reading the leaks, and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna happen in the next chapter, and kind of like see where Oda's trying to go, and then always be completely wrong.
Well, I'll go ahead and hop off this my own podcast because I'm only in like episode 600 of the anime right now. So
Hey, that's a strong 600 though.
that's a strong
Over the
600.
hump.
Honestly, I've taken a little break. There's like a lot of like live people shows. I know that's like taboo in our world, but there's like real people shows that have been coming out. So I took a little break from One Piece. I'm about to hop back on the train, but I just got into Dressrosa, and obviously David knows, but what's it called? Doflamingo is like my favorite villain in like the entire One Piece world. So I'm waiting for the whole Dofi Luffy fight. So it's gonna be super dope to me. Okay, well, so I want to ask you a couple questions here, rattle off the top here. So what to you are your top 3 favorite animes and why?
All right, so I'm gonna go from like my least to my best. So I'll go with Hunter x Hunter.
Oh.
I think a coworker recommended it to me, and like I said, I had no idea what it was about. I started watching it. It was only like 130 episodes, which was at the time like the longest anime I ever watched. So it's just one anime that got me into like just continually watching longer animes, like over 200 episodes, 300.
Yeah.
I really like the story arc. My best arc would be the Chimera arc. And there's like there was this one scene, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but at the beginning of the Chimera arc, there's like a boy and a girl. They're like brothers and sisters, and they get taken away by the Chimera ants. And then you see them at the end of the arc, and they're like Chimera ants essentially. And then the little girl is like a ladybug, and she finds her mom. And I was like, oh, that was pretty sweet.
Really?
Like how it
Wow, I'm not even hip to that. I need to check that out.
I didn't even remember that, to be honest. That was some off the top fucking subconscious shit.
Okay.
Yeah. That was part of the arc. She's like a ladybug, and like at first the villagers kind of want to like she goes back to her home village, and the villagers kind of like they see that she's not a threat, but she looks really familiar the way she's dressed, and so then someone calls the crying mom over, who's been looking for.
I do remember this. I do remember the mom like crying because her kids were kidnapped or some shit.
Yeah.
Like I do remember that. I don't remember the whole ladybug thing though. That's crazy.
I think she looked like I'm not sure if it was a ladybug, but that was like she was an insect type of person.
Imagine your kid coming back to you as a bug. I don't want you anymore.
That eats humans.
And
Yeah,
then,
How do you
Can't whoop him.
can't do shit?
Can't whoop him.
second favorite, shoot. Look at my statues.
Let me look at.
Let me see if I normally just have all One Piece stuff. Second one would have to be It was one I watched with my fiance. It was Kotaro Lives Alone. That was kind of cool. It was unexpected. It's basically
Kotaro lives alone.
I think that's what it's called. It's basically like a 10-year-old who lives alone, and everyone in his little apartment complex is like, dude, what are you doing here by yourself?
I've heard
You
of that.
kinda
We
find
went over
out.
this before. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of find out about his life, and you find out that his mom passed away, and his parents I think his dad was abusive, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he lives alone, but he has like a social worker check up on him and give him like his money that he gets from whatever welfare system or a social security system.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just goes on a little adventure, and the whole time you're just laughing on how funny he talks. And then number one would have to be One Piece.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. That one,
Of course.
I kind of just got into slowly. Like I'll work and be work. I have like a desk job, so I'll be typing away, and I'll have it in what is it, dub, playing in the background. Little by little, I started paying more attention and stopped working. I was like, oh shit, wait, this is getting too distracted. And then I didn't know it was like 1,000 episodes long. I just knew it was like, because it was on Netflix, right? And it only showed like 3 seasons. So I was like, oh, 3 seasons, here we go.
Nothing.
I caught up, and I was like, what the
you
hell
fucking
was
thought.
this? And then, yeah, ever since then, I just been on there.
Okay.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So, Davey, you want to go next? Go ahead. We haven't gone over ours in a long time.
Ours is ever changing, quite honestly. With
It
every
is.
season, with more manga and light novels I read, it changes.
My third always. So my top 2 have remained the same. My third is the one that always changes, like for whatever new seasons come out. So you go ahead. I mean, I already know your top number 1, but
I mean, the number 1 is easy. Honestly, just to kind of keep the genre, switch it up a little bit, just not to give the same genre over and over again. I'm going to go number 3 this time is going to be Right now I'm really feeling Another. Another is it's more like a horror anime.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm gonna change that. Right now, my number 3 is going to be Dark Gathering. I want to stick with the horror genre. I've been watching Dark Gathering, and I'm going to talk about it next episode. But it's good. If you're, especially for the season, the Halloween season, watching this, it's good. It's really good.
Okay.
So
Well,
right now,
what is it about?
what it's about? So the whole premise of the show is the main character, this guy, when he was younger, he's always could sense and see spirits, and they've always like messed with him. But when he was younger, he got into an incident where him and his best friend, this girl, they end up getting hurt and marked by the spirit. So he's essentially been trying to get uncursed, but he eventually just became like this shut-in guy who didn't even want to interact with anyone because he didn't want them to get hurt as well. Well, in the future, he's probably like 17, 18 years old. He gets into this high school. His best friend has finally convinced him not to be a shut-in anymore and to like come back out into the real world. And her first suggestion is to be, hey, you should be a tutor for like kids to like help them get good grades in school. It's like a Japanese thing. So he agrees, and his first child that he's supposed to tutor ends up being her little cousin. And this little cousin, her whole thing is to hunt curses, to eventually gather up curses, strong curses, to fight this big boss curse that took her mother when she was younger, much younger, as a small child. So that's her thing, but he wants to stay away from curses and to no longer put people in danger. So we eventually, of course, get to the point where he finally agrees to help her in her quest so that she continues, so she will help him in his quest so that he's no longer cursed and the best friend is no longer cursed. And quite honestly, it has the spooky elements. It has all the elements that have you sitting on the seat like, okay, what's going to happen next? Now, of course, main characters, we know they're not going to die, but seeing them damn near almost die every other episode, every other situation is like, it's pretty damn good. Especially again for the season. It's a really good series. So to the viewer who did shout out that Dark Gathering, I appreciate you. This is a pretty good anime.
I definitely need to look it up. I guess. I don't know. If you made it in your top 3, I gotta take a look at it.
In top 3, especially for the season. Number 2 is always a rotating door as well. Because of the season that recently ended, number 2 this time is going to be Mushoku Tensei. Shuko Tensei has the world building. It's a really great animation. It does have the hot topics. It makes you sometimes hate the main character, love the main character, root for the main character, or hope and wait for his downfall. It's a really good series. The animation is amazing. The plot is amazing. The world building is amazing. And that's just the anime. It's going to take off once we get to the future episodes, the future seasons. The light novel is amazing. It's one of the top 10 Japanese light novels in Japan. Yeah. So it's you know it's good. So quite honestly, that it deserves to be number 2. Sometimes I switch it up with things such as Don Machi. You know, is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon?
That was one that's rotating in my number 3 right now.
It definitely rotates. Yeah. I like to keep my 2 and 3 rotating because I love a lot of different isekais. I love a lot of different genres as well. So I like to keep those moving depending on the season, depending on what came out. But number 1 is always going to be One Piece.
Before we get into it, you said what is it called? Isekais? I just recently learned what it's like basically when you die and get reincarnated.
Reincarnated to another world.
Like that's a whole genre?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah.
We are, if you watch some of our past videos or whatever, we are big isekai fans. Like isekais are some of the best. And it's funny because there's always this trope with the community. Either you love isekais or you hate isekais. And the people that hate isekais always joke on us saying, "Oh, it's the same fucking show. It's just a different title." Or it has like the girl whose shoe fell off in the middle of traffic got hit by a bus. Now she's the strongest princess in the world. Like it has long ass titles like that. And so they joke on that fact, but honestly, like I love the whole my favorite style of animes are the ones that have the adventure guilds, the dungeons, the magic, the swords, the knights. Like those are my favorite type or styles of anime. So they're really good. You get into isekais and we could definitely get a list for you. We'll send it to you. There's a lot. You talking about what?
Is the popular one like the one reincarnated into a slime?
Yeah, reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah.
Is that a good place to start?
Oh, that's fan. Oh yeah. Oh, reincarnated as a slime is one of the best. It's probably if not the best isekai there is.
Definitely up there. One of the best isekais.
If we were doing
What's the second best? I'd rather watch the second best to then like kind of have my hopes up.
You want a list?
Top 3 favorite isekais.
Before that one.
Is it wrong to pick up a girl in a dungeon?
Okay.
But that's technically so me and David have like different views on isekai. Isekai is another world, is the true definition of isekai, right? I think of it as if people die or they get transported to another world, that's an isekai. But if it's another world other than ours, David thinks that it's like that's also an isekai. So if it's a magical world with dragons, dungeons, then it's technically an isekai as well. I don't necessarily agree, but that's not the point. But I would kind of consider Don Machi to be an isekai, and you don't see him die or anything, but there are like gods that bring people back to life, you know, do stuff like that.
Clear,
so
it's not our world.
Yeah, it's not our world.
SAO is one.
SAO.
Oh yeah,
it's considered an isekai as well.
I do consider. Yo, my wife's favorite anime is Sword Art Online. So, Sword Art Online is great. Even the last season, like Alicization Underworld and Underworld, Alicization and then Alicization Underworld are like the best, probably the best seasons of Sword Art Online.
Reincarnated as a sword.
Reincarnated as a sword is great. There's only one season of that, so you want to start off slow. Reincarnated as a sword is like 12 episodes.
Reincarnated as a vending machine. Can't forget about that. Stop. Reincarnated as a spider. What do you mean? There's a whole list.
Go back. No, rewind. We're not talking about vending machine. No.
Yo,
that is trash.
Once you become an isekai fan, you're gonna be like, okay, I see you. I see you. No.
Oh.
No. We don't.
No, sir. Okay, moving on.
No.
Moving on.
Number one.
Yeah. One Piece.
Yeah. Number one. One Piece. How about yourself, Maui?
All right. So honestly, there's 3 that in the past have kind of rotated now. So Reincarnated as a Slime would usually be my number 3 because I watched that a little further in life than when it first came out. But because of the stuff that's been coming out recently, my number 3 is probably going to be Eminence in Shadow. So Eminence in Shadow is an isekai. I don't know. Have you watched that one at all, Andrew?
Oh no, I haven't seen any. That's why I was
You
like,
haven't seen any of them. Okay, well, Eminence in Shadow is pretty much about a young man who gets reincarnated into a world where he is pretty much the strongest, and that's another trope of isekais is that whenever they get reincarnated, they're broken as fuck. They're the strongest people on the planet, and either A, they show it off and they use it for like to do great things, or B, they want or B, they are low key about it and they want to hide it. But Sid, our main character for Eminence in Shadow, he's both. So he has his alter ego, which is Shadow, and then his normal self, which is Sid. Sid is like a weak boy. He's always pretending like he's weak, but then at night he has like a whole gang of women, and him who are the Eminences in Shadow. A whole
call that a harem. Just call it a harem.
He has a harem of women in like black tight outfits, and he's in a black hooded outfit, and he's called Shadow, and he goes around and he just fucks around. Honestly, he beats bad guys. He beats up random people. I mean, we're
forgetting about the main point. He's fucking around. He thinks it's a game. It's real.
Whole thing. Yeah,
it's real.
There's a whole shadow organization, like a whole shadow government that is essentially. Their goal is to what is it? Their goal is to like I forgot exactly. There's like a main goal, but they're pretty much corrupt. It's like a corrupt government organization. He made it up in his head that he got this harem of women and his organization to fight that government, but he was telling these girls that like he was playing a game, but in real life it's real. So, but he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know it's real.
But he's still fighting them, thinking that it's fake, but realistically he's doing the right thing.
Player One, right? Is that what it's called? Player One, where he's like
Ready Player One.
Yeah, Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, where it's like, yeah. So he thinks it's a game, but I mean, he doesn't think he's in a game. He knows he's in that world, but he thinks the whole government is fake. Like the whole corrupt government is fake. But his girls know that it's real. And so they're like, we're going to leave you and go fight them for you. And he thinks they're just like done playing the game. They're leaving him. Then they come back and give him a debrief. And he's like, oh, thanks for still playing the game with me in his head. But like, it's like a no shit real thing.
He literally thinks that they're doing it. He thinks they're like setting this stuff up just to like enjoy the game with. They're not. They're literally out here fighting bad guys for you. And you're doing all this wild shit. He doesn't even kill people. He just does wild, crazy things because he thinks they're all playing along and let him live his fantasies.
Like, 2 people. His second atomic bomb he killed that dude underground. He killed that dude underground.
Oh. Did he do it on purpose?
And the first episode he killed the bandits with his slime. The first time we saw it.
Sure.
So, but he has this move where he's like this move, it's like this most broken move ever where he's like, I am atomic. And when the lower his voice gets when he says atomic is the strongest the blast gets. So like the first time he does it, he's like, I am atomic. And then it like does this massive explosion. Second time he does it, you can barely hear him. And the third time he does it, you don't even hear him say it. And then he's like, I'm just kidding. And then he leaves. Like he just fucks off. But that's probably my third right there. It's a fantastic fucking show. My second,
because you now I want to watch it.
First one's 24 episodes.
24 episodes.
And then the second season just recently came out. So it's like 2-3 episodes in.
Yeah, 2-3 episodes. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. It's a good starter if you want to start there. It's funny. The dude knows he's been isekai too, which is another great wall breaker for isekai. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, I'm in another world. I'm broken. Like I'm an isekai character." Like,
oh yeah, he meant to be isekai. That was it. He was trying to be. He literally threw himself in front of a truck, wasn't it?
He threw himself. So he pretended in his real life world before he got isekai'd, he was Shadow, but he didn't have any powers. He just was like really good at martial arts and like was hitting people with fucking steel pipes and shit, like saving old ladies and purses and nonsense. And then he was like, well, if I kill myself, I can be in another world with actual powers. And he threw himself in front of a bus in front of his school, and then he got isekai'd. So
that's it's for them to be aware of their previous life, or are they like, oh shit,
sometimes
it's not
like
thing.
50-50.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Yeah, I think what was it, not black, it's like the Black Armorer, or the one I put you on. Remember the one with the dude who gets like the Ghost Knight as like his
Black Summoner character?
Black Summoner.
Yeah,
his was if he got the most, like if he has 2 options. One, he can be like powerful but not really powerful and remember his past life, or be super powerful with the most ridiculous ability and sacrifice his memory. He sacrificed his memory to be powerful. So yeah, he got to choose. Sometimes you get to choose, sometimes you don't.
It's really up in the air. It's not like a whole thing, but just one thing with watching Eminence in Shadow, remember, it is meant to be a joke on isekais. Do not take it completely serious. Don't say, "Oh, this is the blueprint for isekais." It's meant to joke on other isekais. So it's a good show because of that fact.
He knows what he's doing. He knows that he is an isekai character, and so he's trying to make fun of isekai characters. But while he's doing the same
serious,
thing that isekai
way. It's good. It's really good. Check it out.
Now, my second is definitely going to be Gundam Iron Blood Orphans. That'll always remain second. If you didn't know, I'm a big mech anime lover. I love mech style animes, Gundam Wing, the new one, Synduality, that just came out. Those are like 86. 86 is fucking still fantastic. Love it to this day. But I'm a big mech style anime guy, so definitely Gundam Iron Blood Orphans. It's pretty short. I know the Gundam timeline, I don't know if you're into mech animes, Andrew, but the Gundam timeline is super fucked up if you really don't know much about it. But Iron Blood Orphans, it's a separate thing from the Calamity War, so you could just watch those. I think it's like 2 seasons, like 20-ish, 25-ish episodes, and you can just watch it and enjoy it and then be done with Gundam, you know. So
there's my good ones too.
I mean, there's
I'll be done with it. Just start with it.
When you say mecha, I think of like Pacific Rim, but I only like that movie because of the kaijus. Because I was like, oh, that's cool. Isn't big ass robot fighting like huge ass demon characters, monsters?
Yeah,
aren't they animated in the Kaiju number 8?
I think so.
Yeah, you should check that out too. If you like Pacific Rim, Kaiju number 8 is literally the same exact
Kaiju. Yeah, Pacific Rim. Yeah, okay. Pacific Rim was based off of the manga Kaiju, so it's like its own kind of verse based off of thing. But anyways, my first is gonna be Naruto, so that's why I said it was crazy how you said you've never seen Naruto. That's all the mangas literally right there. But Naruto was the first anime I've ever watched in my entire life. It's funny because I tell this story a lot on this podcast, but when I first watched Naruto, I watched all of the original, because Naruto is two separate shows. Well, some people say it's 3 now, but we don't talk about that one. But Naruto is 2 separate shows. I guess you could call them cores, right? So you got Naruto, the first one, and then you have Naruto Shippuden. Shippuden is when he's an adult, or not an adult, but he's like 16. He's like 15, 16 years old. Naruto is when he's a kid. He's like 10 years old throughout all of Naruto. When I first watched Naruto, I watched all of the original when he was a child, and then I stopped for a while because I went to the Marine Corps. I did like a bunch of shit. I kind of dropped off at anime. And then I didn't realize that Shippuden existed until like it was almost done. And so then I got to watch pretty much all of Shippuden for the first time and pretty much binge it. And I love Shippuden. So that's, and then they got Boruto, Naruto's son show. Don't ever watch that. You don't need to know anything about that. It's a garbage show.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, I heard that you should read it, not watch it, because apparently the anime does the manga complete injustice.
Yeah, so, I've seen some videos going around based on the animation and storyline. Is that the same like Dragon Ball? Because I know Dragon Ball has its own thing where it's like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. They have the same. They have Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball C, then Dragon Ball Super, then they have Dragon Ball GT, and then Dragon Ball Kai, and then they have the new one coming out, Daimyo.
There's some controversy about that, right? Is it because like they're continuing, but it's basically a whole new season, but it was like white, right?
People don't like that concept.
Yeah, the concept is they're continuing, and the other concept is that, from what I saw on the Reddit pages, was that they're turning them into children for like the whole show. They're gonna be kids again, and they're just pretty much like, isn't this fucking GT? Like, and so people, and again, GT. What was your theory that people?
If you didn't like GT, then you're not. Then I'm sorry. If you hated GT, then you're gonna hate this.
Yeah, and I didn't like GT. I've watched all of them, and I did not like GT at all. So, we'll see. All right. So, have you watched anything recent? I know you're big One Piece. I heard you like Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm sure you're caught up on that, right?
Oh yeah. New ones.
Anything in this season?
No, I honestly just even realized that there's seasons of like every new
Oh, really?
season.
Oh, he knew.
Animes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Mhm.
just like if it's like a fall collection of a clothing line, they do that with anime too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And like
it's
I guess there's like
seasonal.
hype around them of like, oh, who's gonna watch it first? And I'm like, damn, they really got us by the balls every time they drop something new, and we had to try to watch all 6 new series and.
Hmm.
Well, no,
Yeah.
anything new? I don't know. I'd have to think about that one.
How are you liking Jujutsu Kaisen? Are
I'm
you
so bad.
current on the anime
Yeah, and then the manga. I'm
and
fine
in
with
the
both.
manga? He went in. He went in
Damn.
balls deep.
Damn.
Okay. Okay. How
Damn.
you liking it?
I watched it because I was like, I want to watch Naruto and Demon Slayer. And so I
Mhm.
was like, oh, just watch Jujutsu Kaisen. It's basically like a gory version of Naruto in a sense. And because of the
Mm.
whole Jujutsu, and I was like, all right. I
They
mean, I
used
don't
a
know what to
blueprint. It's
compare
not
it
the
to Naruto.
same. They used the Naruto
Yeah.
blueprint of like 3-man teams with the lead instructor,
Yeah.
and he teaches them how to progress in like
Yeah.
this high school format.
It's a
But
little bit of a reach, but
it's
it's not.
different.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
Maybe
reach.
OG Naruto, not less
Nar-
Shippuden.
Naruto is a whole commitment. Just like One Piece, just like Bleach, just like Gintama. Like you have to watch. You have to take the time. I wouldn't say you can't watch anything else, but for me, I have a system. Like right now, I'm watching One Piece. But if a new season comes out, like I'm watching all the shit in the new season right now because we're in winter 2023 or 2024, 3, 24,
Three.
whatever. Or yeah, we're in winter 2023. They start 2024 and 2023, so it's fucking weird. Anyways, but you know, I watch a shit ton of One Piece for like a month or a month and a half straight, and then I go back to this season's anime, and then I catch up on that, watch those shows, and then I take a break from One Piece. Then I go back to One Piece and do the same thing over. So you kind of, if you wanted to start Naruto, you couldn't be like all over the place with everything else because Naruto is like it's a big commitment. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like or
800?
380. No, it's
Oh,
not anywhere near 800. No, it's like.
oh, 300 is easy then. That's
No,
just like
it's like 3, 4. It's like 400,
You talking
300.
about the OG?
No, from Naruto to end of Shippuden.
Is it not
I think
700
it's-
episodes?
I don't.
I feel like
think
it's 700 episodes. But considering
Yeah.
what I'm watching, that's different from what we've talked about before. It's something that I know both me and Maui have watched and finished up to this point. Good Night World on Netflix.
So. Oh my god.
This wasn't a part of like the
Oh.
seasonal drops. It was
My
a silent anime that Netflix
God.
just randomly dropped. It's from this
Oh
year,
my God.
so it's a new anime. But
That show.
I caught it.
I'm seeing good reactions.
Yeah,
What-
I caught it, and I was like, okay, it's giving me these like Sword Art Online feels.
500.
It gives me
500
the Sword Art
500
Online
episodes.
feel.
Oh, okay.
500 episodes. Okay,
500.
yeah, that makes sense. So he's like going into this virtual world playing a game, but the whole point is in the virtual world, like even though he's like strong and that's like a whole thing, he has a family, like a family
The
of
Atamane
a clan that he like
Yeah.
like hangs out with in the virtual world, water flowers with, do shit like that with, sit down and have dinner with.
Water flowers and shit.
That was like a whole thing for like
Yeah, he
5
does.
minutes. But
Yeah.
then in the real world though, he has his own family, but they're fucked up.
He hates them.
He hates his father because his father is a perfectionist that has driven his wife away. That is the cause. I believe he's the cause. Is the cause of their a child's death, and and the reason why he's now a shut-in. So he's dealing with that world, and he's also living this double life in the virtual world. And then it comes to a point in the show where both the virtual and the real world clash, and I think it was done really well. I think the series ended in a really really thought out way. Like everything that I figured would happen, but in a better way. So
I'm be honest, this show, like, it's not really like an isekai. He's not stuck there. They end up getting to a point at the end of the show where they do they're stuck. I mean, there's the theory at the end, which I told you when I texted you when I finally finished it, where the creator pretty much explained the ending of it. But they're not really stuck like SAO, like Sword Art Online. But he's like, there's a point in the show where it goes from like happy-go-lucky virtual video game world to like a fucking horror show, like a horror movie, and then it goes into like this crime, like this post-crime thriller, back to horror, back to like virtual world. Like it's fucking.
It's a roller coaster.
It's
a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you said it's 500 episodes?
No, we're talking about Naruto.
not this.
This one's like 12, 13 episodes.
Naruto is 500.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Check it out. Good Night World.
You go on Netflix.
I'm creating like a list in my head. I'm like, all right,
We'll send you one. No, we'll send you a list. We'll send you a whole list. But no, this Good Night World is like 12 episodes long. I think. Yeah.
I think my most recent anime that finally came to my mind was Cyberpunk. That's, I guess, my newest one I've seen a while back.
Good one.
And that one's amazing. I used to like laugh at people who would listen to like anime soundtracks, and then after
and then you heard the anime soundtrack that had you bumping that shit. Yeah, I love it.
Cyberpunk hits.
There I am with the gym, my AirPods in, and I'm like, "Oh, this shit smacks!"
Yeah,
it
I was like,
"Gotta hit him with that rumbling, so he know where it really's at."
Yeah, I'm telling you.
What was it? Bleach also had like a really good soundtrack at the end.
Oh yeah, Bleach has bangers.
There's a little song at the end, and then which one else?
Vinland Saga season 1 intro is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
you want to talk about Gym? I got a bunch of anime like songs that I've compiled for the gym. Like the rumbling from Attack on Titan is one of them. That like theme song,
where it's like the speech and the music, or like a dubstep.
Oh yeah. And then Vinland Saga season 1 intro is good. Fire Force season 1 intro is good for the gym. And then the Cyberpunk shit where they're like, it's like it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty lit. It's pretty good.
One Piece Film Red. That one had like a good soundtrack, so I listened to that for a while until I played it.
Oh yeah, Uta's soundtrack.
Yeah.
She redid Bing Sake too. It was pretty well done, but I still think Brooke did it better. But she did her thing too.
Yeah. So besides the list that we can send you on good isekais, there's a good app. I don't know if you've gone to this website. It's also an app, but it's called My Anime List. I keep trying to get you to sponsor me, so fucking sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. So my Anime List is an app where you can track the animes you're watching and ones that you plan to watch, ones that you've completed. But on there, if you go on you can go on the desktop version or the phone version. It gives you seasonal animes. So you go to like seasonal on the little thing, and then it shows you what's coming out in what season, or what came out in the last season, what's on in the current season. It tells you what episode it's on. Like I just got a notification on my watch just now that Undead Unluck episode 4 or episode 3 just dropped. So like it gives me notification. Yeah, it just gives me notifications when a new episode of the anime I'm watching comes out. So I don't really have to put in the notes like, oh, Wednesdays are Undead Unluck, Fridays are Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I don't have to do that because it tells me. So if you want to get into the whole seasonal thing where you find out what animes are dropping what season, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it has a seasonal list too. It'll tell you by the seasons.
Yep, it has a seasonal list, and it has forums. So like there's a forum page on there where people get on there and have discussions and talk about shit. It's kind of like Reddit for anime, but it has like a whole breakdown of like each season, and that's usually for like our last episodes. You go back on our YouTube whenever we do our seasonal breakdowns or our it's coming up next season. We go off of the next season, or we go off of that list for our next season. So. If that's, if you want to get into that seasonal, because he said, I just figured out seasons were a thing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, maybe once I finish that, I have a whole new list. The ones you guys recommended me of isekais and some of the ones you guys brought up. I was like, oh, I haven't watched those. But right now I'm trying to finish up Peaky Blinders on Netflix. Only one more season. That one's
right. Yeah. That's right.
You buy the order of the Peaky Blinders.
We need to do an episode on real life people TV shows, David. I know you don't watch real life people TV shows.
I mean, I got some Korean dramas that we can talk about.
Yeah, we need to go over some K-pop.
we can do that.
Have you guys seen Parasite?
Parasite. Yeah, we just talked.
Yeah, we were just talking about Parasite last week.
Yeah. Parasite's pretty good. We were going over a list of Halloween or spooky or kind of gory Halloween animes, and Parasite came up. So Parasite's a pretty good one.
IGN came out with a list of top 10 horror anime. And we reviewed that list last week.
What about Fooly Cooly? I heard there was a season 2 coming out.
Oh, Fooly Cooly! It's like the 4th season that came out. I remember I watched it originally on Adult Swim back when I was younger. I didn't watch the 2nd or 3rd season. The 4th part just came out apparently. I don't know if I want to get into it. Like when I originally watched it, it was interesting, and it was like about growing up adolescence for boys, and it was like kind of talking about that, but in this artistic way. At this point, I'm past adolescence, so I don't know if I really want to jump back into that. Maybe it's good. Maybe a whole plotline has actually developed, but back then it was just wild, crazy things that caught my attention because I was younger. Honestly,
Oh, I didn't even know there was a third or fourth season. I've been looking trying to find the second season. Is it on Hulu
we got a
or
site.
like?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after this. We'll talk about it after the show. We got to be on our Mugiwara shit.
Yeah. So, all right. So Andrew, where can people find you? Give us your tags.
So I go by Hypnosvolt. Right now it's on TikTok, Instagram. I think that's it. TikTok and Instagram. And Iconic Bits that can be found on Whatnot, TikTok, and Instagram.
Okay. We'll put his links down in the description. Also, I'm sure David will put it up like
here,
right there, somewhere, so people can find you there. We really appreciate you, coming on the pod with us. We've been itching to have more guests on here. Hopefully, we can.
I've been liking too. I feel really bad, and I was like, shoot, I've been messing up.
No, you're good. You're good. We've been wanting to have some more guests on here. Hopefully, we can get you in the anime scene where you'll be like, "Hey, winter 2023 is coming up." Get you some news out there. So, we appreciate you coming on the show again, everybody. We love you. We'll see you later, and peace out.
Peace.
Peace.